Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. Most people have high hopes, but some trepidation around the holidays. One source of that? The difficult conversation. Of course, usually you can just avoid the person, especially in the virtual gatherings that are dictated by COVID restrictions. But sometimes you can't or don't want to avoid the person, nor do you want to limit yourself to safe but boring small talk. Here are sample dialogues attempting to handle four such situations. First, there's the hated relative or friend. You've grown to hate your parent, ex-spouse, maybe even current spouse, adult child or friend, but at the holidays you're thrust together at a party, even a virtual one, even if it's just in a few-person chat room. He or she wants a real conversation, but you don't want the intensity, or at an in-person gathering, risking making a scene. He or she says, "How are you doing?" You say, "I'm doing okay, grateful for the chance to slow down a little around the holidays. You?" "Oh, I'm enjoying Christmas music, the decorations, presents, you know." You say, "Yeah, and the food. I gotta watch that I don't put on the holiday 5. He or she says, wanting to deepen the conversation, "I don't know why you avoid me. I'm your sister." You say, not wanting to get into it, especially at a holiday party, but probably not for the foreseeable future. "As you know, we have a long history of being like oil and water. This certainly isn't the time to get into it yet again, but frankly, we've been through this so many times, so at least for now, let's give it a rest. But of course, I wish you well. Would you excuse me? I'm hungry. I'm going to get something from the hors d'oeuvre table." The next scenario is introducing your date to the family. You've brought someone that you're dating seriously to the family's holiday gathering, if only a virtual one. And he or she is nervous, and you're trying to reassure her while being honest. And your date says, "I'm a little nervous about meeting your family." And you respond, "I can understand. Anything specific you're nervous about? Like, how should I act? Are they formal, liberal, conservative?" You say, "Well, you can pretty much be yourself. Trying to impress can come off poorly. The one exception is with my dad. He's brilliant and asks probing questions. My best advice? Keep your answers brief, but as smart as you can make them. And look for opportunities to take the heat off you by asking him a question or two. He enjoys using his intelligence and has thoughtful things to say about nearly anything. So, for example, if they ask you some small talk question about the holidays, you might answer briefly and then ask him, 'What are your thoughts about the holidays?'" Next scenario, you're talking with your political opposite. Let's say you're a liberal and have a conservative relative who enjoys trying to ridicule liberal perspectives. And let's assume that you feel it's too denying of yourself to just placate the person, yet you don't want to get too deep and risk a loud argument. You say, "How are you?" He or she says, "I'm still so upset at the media's influencing the election." You say, "I can understand why a conservative would be unhappy, but candidly, as a liberal, I'm happy with the result." She says, "I know you are, but do you really think the country will be better with yet more redistribution from societies more contributory to others?" You respond, "Actually, I do. There's too much income inequality, and I like to see poor people, yes, including illegal immigrants from poor countries, get the benefits of being in a wealthier country. I know you disagree, but I'm wondering, given that we're at a holiday party, if we'd be wise to defer this sort of conversation. I'm going to go get a drink. Maybe we can talk later. Or maybe we will talk later." And finally, someone who intimidates you. You dreaded coming to the party because you know you'll be accosted by your relative who's a show-off, making you feel inferior. You can't avoid the person, and besides, you think it would be a growth experience for you to stand up against such a person. So the person says, "So, what are you doing for the holidays?" And you say, "Well, normally I'd love to drive to some warm place like San Diego, but with COVID, I'm staying home." She says, "Yes, me too, but I've already made reservations at Maui's Fairmont Kea Lani for the summer. Even with COVID, it's getting booked up early, so even though it's frightfully expensive, $1,000 a night if you want a full ocean view, $1,500 for a suite, we decided to splurge." You do know that's where California's government leaders went, even as they were urging people not to travel. You respond, "I've not found the benefits of going to expensive places worth the money. I can do 5-day trips for the cost of one of those week-long extravaganzas, and those yield me more pleasure and restoration than I could get from any one vacation, no matter how expensive. But of course we're all different. I'm glad you're excited about going to that place. I got to run to the bathroom. Maybe we'll talk later." In any event, I thank you for watching. I'm Marty Nemko. I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments, and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. And in any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.